NBS. Always. This is NBS Live at 9.
Tonight, 80 civil servants under police investigation over corruption charges. That, among other news stories, on NBS Live at 9. But first, the top stories.
The headlines brought to you by
Radiant. Look good. Feel great.
Radiant is a brand of Morbid products.
Strict COVID SOPs as institutions of higher learning prepare to reopen their gates.
Organize your program for reopening, fitting in the standard operating procedure of Ministry of Health.
Results will no longer be given out manually.
The Ministry of Health apologizes for the COVID-19 testing mess at Entebbe International Airport.
No tourist was involved in the confusion of yesterday.
When you find finance cutting off money coming to Parliament,
Is it a game of ping pong? Kasaija on Parliament stance.
The question will be, when you cut that money and give it to Ministry of Health, what has it done?
Hotels that are older than Uganda.
Right here you see John Harrington speak at Ripon Falls, which is present-day Ginger, on July 28, 18.
What keeps them afloat?
The aura of vintage of a very classical colonial property.
The headlines brought to you by
Radiant. Look good. Feel great.
Radiant is a brand of Morbid products.
It's live at 9. My name is Mebo Tegumiezake with Michael Jagwe for sign language interpretation. As we start with NBS Live at 9, please follow the hashtag NBS Live at 9 across all our social media platforms. Now, the Ministry of Education has set vaccination as the key to accessing institutions of higher learning which are due for reopening on Monday. And according to the ministry, all learners and lecturers must be vaccinated and will be expected to employ other measures, especially social distance in the lecture rooms.
The Ministry of Education has issued guidelines ahead of Monday reopening of high institutions of learning. According to the head of the Institution and Program Accreditation at the National Council of Higher Education, Pius Achang, the degree awarding institutions are priority, but key to attendance in all institutions is vaccination.
Vaccination, vaccination, vaccination. And if we do this, I think we have a high chance of ensuring that learning continues. So this is the trend that we are very confident that our training institutions are keen to supporting the cause of the Ministry of Education and Sports to reopen in a controlled manner.
The regulators have now tasked the institutions to submit their programs on how they intend to carry out progressive learning.
Institutions will be required to submit progress of how students have come on, how learning is taking place, and consistently National Council and other local authorities, how we have at every district, the Ministry of Higher Education officers, inspectors will work with us, local authorities, to ensure that institutions are running. The essence for doing this is that we don't repeat what happened before June.
The Assistant Commissioner of Pre-Primary Education, the Ministry of Education, Anet Mugisha, has clarified that implementation of the National Teachers Policy is still under discussion and consultations are on how to handle the opening of PTCs and NTCs.
I might not clearly say they are coming on Monday until when we have this meeting from Chambovo, which is taking place this afternoon. But it is clear that National Teacher Colleges 2019-20 second years are supposed to report in the institutions tomorrow on Monday first, and all the principals of these institutions are waiting for them.
Other institutions are set for the selection process of the students, especially the technical vocational education centers. Shamim Nawakoza, NBS, live at 9.
This is NBS Breaking News.
Now, breaking news that is just coming in at this moment indicates that a jackfruit-like explosive that was given to children in Segari village, that is Sento sub-county in Kaseke district, has instantly killed 2 children. One Chihuahua Pathias, who is physically handcuffed, and Chinji Michael, 14, who were playing together with another child. I will repeat, breaking news that is just coming in right now from Nakaseke district in Segari village, Sento sub-county, indicates that a jackfruit-like explosive has instantly killed 2 children, one physically handcuffed child by the name of Chihuahua Pathias and Chiinji Michael. This is still a developing story. As information keeps coming in, we'll be filling you in on more detail. You're still watching NBS live at 9. In this report, the Ministry of Health has apologized for the delays at Entebbe International Airport that have caused frustration to some travelers to the country after it emerged that the laboratory set up to test COVID-19 was not working effectively. The Minister of Health, Dr. Ruth Ochan, said 30 testing booths are to be set up to ease the work.
These are some of the videos that started circulating on social media platforms Wednesday evening. Frustrated travelers angered by the new COVID-19 standard operating procedures at the arrivals lounge at Entebbe International Airport. The passengers complained of unwanted delays in the processing of COVID-19 test results, with people arriving into the country made to wait for hours, among other grievances. The Minister of Health, Dr. Ruth Ochan, has apologized for the inconveniences and said there are steps taken to sort out the issues that caused the problems.
Results will no longer be given out manually, but through an online system, which includes emails, WhatsApp messages, and display of memes on the available screens mounted on the walls for those who do not have smartphones or laptops.
Dr. Cheng said 30 sample collection booths are to be operational. This means all travelers will be registering online prior to traveling to Uganda to ease the process.
A new updated link for the online registration has been shared. All incoming travelers are required to fill this form and pay online to quicken the process of sample removal, testing, and receiving results upon arrival.
Acheng also refuted claims by tour operators that tourists are cancelling their travels due to the stringent restrictions put in place. She said there are provisions for tourists who have separate sample collection booths.
No tourist was involved in the confusion of yesterday. Tourists have separate testing booths and are allowed to continue to their hotels in Entebbe, where they wait for their results before proceeding to their designated destinations.
The ministry defended the testing of every arrival, arguing that it was necessary to avoid new variants spreading into the local population, as was the case previously. Daniel Lutaya, Jamila Murindo and Noah, NBS, live at 9.
Now, the Minister for Finance, Matia Kasaija, has responded to a parliamentary concern on budget cuts for the 2 arms of government, saying it was a cabinet decision to save the country from the devastating effect of COVID-19. The minister's response comes after the Deputy Speaker, Anita Amon, together with other legislators, faulted the Ministry of Finance for adjusting the budget of Parliament, something that has turned the House into a begging institution.